Hi, Sikes. It's a beautiful Thursday. I'm out with the girls out front. We're going to go to the dog park in a little bit. It has been an amazingly productive day, a beautiful day. Hey, it's all good, and I hope it's good wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And I know that for some people that seems strange when events or circumstances don't seem optimal or don't seem to be working in favor of peace and happiness and joy when there's a lot of tumultuous or less than glorious happenings going on, let's put it that way. But the wish is the same. Hi, Alan. The wish is that I hope you transform whatever events or circumstances that you're currently in, wherever you are in the world, into ones that you enjoy and that you're glad that you have. The goal is to take wherever you are and make it better. I mean, that's, you never have to live with what you're handed. Now, that doesn't mean that you strive or you work hard or you effort to get ahead. Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. He didn't say work hard and grow rich. There's nothing bad about working hard, but the point is that it begins with a thought, it begins with an idea, it begins with your mindset. And if your mindset is right, then whatever actions you take aren't hard work. They're actions that you want to be taking. You're desiring to take them. You enjoy taking them. So it's not a matter of a struggle. It's a matter of doing those things that are the right actions to get you what you want to have more of, to have greater success, greater wealth, greater happiness, greater health, more love, whatever it is that you want. So the goal today for each of us is to make each day or each moment for us just a little bit better than the moment before, to feel a little bit better than we did before. I'm not saying you have to be jumping up and down and going off, on a big electric vibe thing. Of course you could, and I invite you to do that too. But to just make it a little more pleasant for yourself and for someone else. A little kinder, a little nicer, a little sweeter, a little gentler. Because you can do that. You can go take a walk and notice the beauty of nature. You can hang out and listen to a dear friend or a child, play with a pet, have a nice cup of tea or coffee, do something, have a sweet or something that you enjoy. That's a healthy pleasure, a sin, but a good one. You can do something to pat yourself on the back to enjoy more of what the experience you're having right now. Yes, I'm drinking some coconut water. I love coconut water. One of my favorite things, I love a fresh coconut, to cut it, to scoop out the coconut meat on the inside and drink the water. I'm drinking boxed coconut water right now. Oh, God, one of my pleasures. And I do it to hydrate because we're going to be out in the dog park for a while, and got some bunch of bottles of water for the dogs and for me, and for other dogs. And anyway, listen, there's a lot going on, and I post a lot of stuff on my wall, and some of it's not all that positive. Some of it's about the changes that need to be going on in the world, or what we want to reform, or how we want to improve, or what's wrong. And what's wrong is useful to the extent that it tells you what to do right. I say this a lot, but the indicator on your dashboard is there to let you know what the problem is. Your oil, your tire pressure, your door is open, your engine needs servicing or something. It's there to alert you that there's a problem or issue that needs to be addressed before something worse happens. And so the same thing is true with our feelings. If you have a less than glorious feeling, you're feeling bad, you're about to attempt something and you're going to do something new, and you want to make a change, and you feel doubtful or fearful or sad or depressed or angry or frustrated or confused, those are signals that somewhere in your thinking process or in your beliefs you need to address. You might be thinking, I can't do that, or it's not going to work out. You may not have voiced that or be aware of that, but there's a conflict, there's something on the inside that doesn't resonate or ring true for you, and so it feels off, and you feel scared, or you feel doubtful, or you feel, and especially when you're trying to make a change and do something you've never done, you end up having to leave your comfort zone. And whenever we leave our comfort zone, all of these emotions tend to rise up in order to keep us the same. Because Don't leave your comfort zone. Don't go out and try something new. We want you just the way you are. Stay the way you are. Have you ever had anyone ever say that to you? Like, I don't recognize you. I don't know who you are anymore. You're thinking different. You're dressing different. You're behaving different. You're weird. You're strange. I just want to know the person I've always known. Well, your brain does that too. Hi, Carno. Hey. So your brain does that too. It doesn't want you to leave your comfort zone. And yet we want to leave our comfort zone because inside of our comfort zone, sometimes there's a lot of pain. I mean, a lot of people will sit and suffer and tolerate a lot of stuff for a long time before they actually move. Because whenever they think about moving, their brain goes, no, can't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You know, it's not going to work out. You're going to go broke. You're going to go bankrupt. Don't do this. There's people out there to pray. Comes up with all sorts of reasons and excuses, maybe from your past, maybe from somebody else's past, you know, something you've heard that you have co-opted as your own, but now you believe it, now you feel it, okay? So your feelings are indicators. Just like when you're feeling joyful and happy and thrilled and vibrant, and you feel incredible energy, those are signals too that something inside you is going right, it's working, everything is aligned, it's congruent, you're feeling alive and vibrant and wonderful. So we use our feelings as indicators that, hey, something may need to be addressed and changed. So if you're thinking, I'm fat and I'm ugly and nobody likes me, you need to stop that. Hi, Mark. You need to stop that and then change and think the other thoughts. And it's very simple. That's all you have to do. It's very simple. Stop, take a deep breath, and think the other side. I am thin. I can be thin. I can eat healthy foods. I can eat foods that help me maintain an ideal weight. I'm in the process of learning how to take better care of myself. You just think something that you choose to think, something that would be better for you, positive, and get you the outcome that you want or the desired result that you want. So you stop doing the old, you stop perpetuating the old, the harmful, the dangerous, the less than productive. You stop, take a pause, breathe, break state, interrupt it, whatever. Stop, drop, and roll. And then you shift into the new stuff. And then you perpetuate the new stuff over and over and over again so that the new stuff becomes a habit. Okay? So you stop doing the old and you start doing the new. You leave where you are to go someplace that's better. Get that? You use your emotions and your feelings as an indicator when things aren't right to adjust your thinking so that you can feel better. Okay? If you're thinking I'm ugly and nobody likes me, it's not going to make you feel real well. So you have to stop thinking that in order to feel better. I hope this is clear. It's very simple, not always easy, but it's very simple in principle. Well, what you need to do. Because if you're focused on debt and go, I'm never going to have any money, never going to have any money, you're never going to have any money. It's unlikely. Sure, you could win the lottery. Sure, you could find cash on the street. Sure, some uncle could die and leave you a fortune. But probably not likely. Okay? Hi, Sue. So what you want to do is you want to stop and shift from where you are into where you want to be and enjoy that. Now, here's the thing. I was saying, I post things on my wall that are inflammatory. There are things that are wrong with this country. Very wrong with this country. Very wrong with what's called leadership in our country. And again, I posted on my wall again today the traits of whether or not you're a good leader. I cannot emphasize this enough. We tolerate people who are claimed to be leaders when they're representatives or elected officials. And if they're not leading, if they're not doing the job that they should be doing, if they're not maintaining the oath they swore to take to uphold the Constitution and to protect your rights and your liberties and that kind of, then they need to be removed at some point. They need to be changed. So how do we know that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing? Well, we compare them to other great leaders. We compare them to whether they keep the laws. There's a signal. You see what I'm saying? In other words, there's a signal. Hey, this isn't right. It's not working. If everybody's up in arms and the world is on fire, well, there's a major signal. Okay, but here's the thing. You can't just keep fueling the fires. You can't fan the flames. You can't just... It's like if you have a house that's falling apart. It's decaying. You can't just tear down the house and keep tearing it down and tearing it down and tearing it down and tearing it down and tearing it down. You have to tear it down and then build something new where the house was. Now, I posted something on my wall today, for example. I said, we have to shift our energy from what the problem is into what our solutions are. We have to have a plan for what to do. I mean, part of what had gone on in this world with the virus and everything else is that our administration didn't have a plan for what would happen. They said it was a hoax, it was not going to be there, you're going to have all these things, don't worry about it, nothing. There was no plan, no timely plan. And apparently, from reports, they still don't have a plan. Now we have this, are we martial law or not martial law? By the way, the thing that happened to George Floyd is despicable, reprehensible, horrific, and it should never happen to any human, black, white, brown, red, yellow, whatever nationality, whatever religious affiliation, whatever gender preference or bias that a person has. It should never happen to anyone, and it shouldn't happen to cops either. And it shouldn't happen to white people. It shouldn't happen to anyone. And sadly, it happens to a disproportionate group of people, disenfranchised people in our country and elsewhere in the world. Violence upon violence does not solve anything. So here's the deal. What do we want instead? And this is an important question. We know what we don't want, and that's important. But now we need to turn our attention to what we do want. We need to clarify it. We need to define it. We need to describe it. More people spend more time planning a vacation than they do to plan their life. They spend more time figuring out where they want to go, what they want to see, what they want to do, where they want to spend their money, how they're going to save, what kind of plane they're going to have, what kind of food they want. They don't think about that in terms of their own living experience. Day to day. How I'm going to have money, how I'm going to spend it, what I'm going to do in the future, where I'm going to be, what kind of house I'm going to live in. They don't plan it that way. They live by default. What comes, what doesn't come, what they grew up having, whether they live with a glass ceiling of never making money or in poverty or in debt. They live perpetuating the old way constantly, again and again and again. If you want to get from here to say, New York, from where I am, a road map. Now we use a GPS, but in the old days you had a road map and you plotted your route. You said, I'm going to take this highway, I'm going to stop here, I'm going to have an overnight. There's where a gas station is, here's where the next town is. You plotted your way to your destination. And you would confer with the map, oftentimes while driving, trying to drive with a map on your lap and look and go, am I here? Okay, now it's in your phone, it's on your car. But the point being is that you had planned to get to New York. Now, so what I'm saying is you need to know where your destination is. If you want to build a house, you don't just start throwing wood and brick together. You go, what kind of house do I want? Do I want a one-story, a two-story, a ranch, a Tudor? What do I want? Do I want a castle? Do I want a bungalow? What do I want? And what kind of wood do I want, or brick do I want, or tile do I want? What kind of roof do I want? What kind of fixtures do I want? And people plan it. And you know what they do? They get a blueprint made. It starts with an idea, a vision of what they want. Then they get the blueprint, the plans drawn up. And then after they have the plans drawn up, they assemble the team and the resources, whatever money they need. And then they build it to the specifications of the blueprint, and they innovate or adjust where is necessary, or if they run into a problem, but they build it to spec. They follow the plan. We need to follow a plan that doesn't include violence upon citizens or violence upon cops. It doesn't include martial law. It doesn't include division in this country. It includes harmony and love and togetherness and peace and abundance, where there's enough money for everybody. Obviously, there's enough money for everybody. It's just been allocated for the rich. It just keeps getting transferred up, and the tax burden keeps being pushed down on the already burdened. Okay? I mean, trillions of dollars have gone upward and bailing out billionaires and millionaires and corporations. It's a land grab. It's a steal from the people, the have-nots, and transfer to the haves. That has to stop. We found out through the virus that our medical system is incredibly broken. There's not enough for everybody. If we have an epidemic, a pandemic, we don't know what to do. And then people are fighting from state to state to try and get enough resources in order to treat the people who are coming in. Because, one, there was no plan in the first place for what would happen if there was an outbreak. Hi, Robin. So you understand, we have to have a plan. And what the cool part about everything that's falling apart right now is it tells us everything that needs to be fixed. It's kind of like if you go into your house and the lamp isn't working, you turn that on, you turn on the water and water's not going, and you plug something in and your vacuum doesn't run because it tells you those things need to be fixed. All the crap that's happening right now tells you what needs to be fixed. Our financial inequity needs to be fixed in this country. The racism, the systemic hatred of people who are of different colors or different faiths or different nationalities has got to end. It's wrong. We need to celebrate. We are one species on the planet floating around in space at 65,000 miles an hour. It doesn't seem like that to us because we're tiny little parasites living on this planet, right? So we need to end racism. We need to end the killing and the abuse and the violence of men on women and rape. We need to empower people, and I don't really like the word empower, but you get what I mean. We need to have people, women, get equal pay, be respected, not be blamed for what they dress. I went to a church. I was 18 years old. I was a deacon in this church. We built it, not the physical building, although we did build one of those, but we built the church. It grew from 12 people to thousands of people. It's still going on. I left right around the time I'm describing, because the pastor one day walked out and said, "Women, girls, you need to dress so that the men aren't tempted." And I went, "What are you talking about? You're telling me that they have to change what they're doing so I'm not tempted?" I said, "This is just patently wrong. I should be the one who has to change what I'm tempted by or control myself, because it's not about them and my relationship with a God. It's about me and my relationship with a God. So stop legislating how the girls should dress so that the boys aren't tempted." I get it. If they're all wearing bikinis, it would be troublesome. But that's not what the case was. And it wouldn't be troublesome. It'd be great, actually, in my opinion. So, but you get what I'm saying? You cannot sit here and tell other people what to do. You have to have the locus of control within you and take charge of your life, take charge of your thoughts and your feelings and your behaviors. And that's what we need to do as individuals. We need to start loving our neighbors, whatever color, whatever gender, whatever nationality, whatever political persuasion. We need to address the financial inequity. We need to make sure that everybody has opportunity and a slice of the pie. We don't end up dividing a pie. We just build more pies or make more pies. There's plenty of money. They print it whenever they want it, for whatever they need it for. Whenever they want to give it to somebody rich, they can start giving it to the people. Millionaires, something like 43,000 millionaires got $1 million each, and the rest of the people got $1,200 each. That's wrong. Small businesses aren't getting their loans. That's wrong. It needs to be fixed. The medical industry needs to be fixed. It needs to be reasonable. It needs to be affordable. It needs to be something that anyone could go to. You can go to other countries and get a root canal for $12 or $70. Here, it's prohibitive for a lot of people. Insurance is crazy. It's out of whack. It's just, you are overinsured in every way. Everything is an insurance nowadays, and everything is a subscription nowadays. Everything is designed to part you from your money. Thank you, Robin. I hit the nail on it. No, it's true. It is a concerted effort from those who have to take away whatever little those who don't have, so that they're too busy fighting among themselves so that they never take over the rich who have it. If we can be kept fighting amongst each other over what's red and what's blue and what's gay and what's straight and what's this and what's that, then we will never rise up and take control of our country. And I'm not talking about the violent over the control of our country. I'm talking about a peaceful control of our country. We need to make changes, and the only way we're going to do that is to say, look, here are these areas that need addressing, and here are the people who we want as representatives. We don't want to vote in people who don't represent our interests any longer. We've had enough of that, don't you think? And some would say no. They go, "Rex, you're completely wrong." So what I'm saying is we have to come together in harmony, of one accord and one mind, and decide what the blueprint is for the future. And then work on that blueprint and improve it, and then gather the resources and team members, and then create it and make it. It's only going to happen when each of us does our part in that. Doesn't just mean financing it, it means doing our part in it. I am so proud of the people who are peacefully protesting. I am so proud of the officers who are peacefully managing the streets. I'm so disappointed in the people who are not peaceful and who are looting or harming others. And many of them may have other nefarious reasons other than, I mean, they can be agitators among good people, and there might be just some bad people. And the same is true with the police. The same is true with the National Guard. They're great people. I have relatives who've been law enforcement. Hi, Mike. They're great people. And some are dicks. I've got relatives who are dicks, and they're not cops. And I've got relatives who are marvelous, and they aren't cops. Anything is possible. But the point is, you're not going to get to New York if you don't make a plan to get to New York. You're just going to haphazard, or you might get there. You might happenstance in there. But you'll go all over the place to do that if you don't know where you're going. And I said to people, we got to build a plan. They go, well, let's get everybody out of office now, and then we'll decide. Well, that's too late. What are you going to do in the vacuum? What are you going to do in the gap? Right now, the people who want change, positive, productive, peaceful, harmonious change that enables all, hi Robert, that enables all people to live a better life, to get along in harmony, to move upward in the world and feel good and feel like a valid, productive member of society, whether they're black or white or red or brown or yellow, whatever nationality they are, whatever sexual preference they are. We've got to come together. Hey, Bailey, come on. We've got to come together and make it happen. And the way it will happen is because we decide to do it. Hi, sweetie. My sweet girl is right here at my feet. Ah, so sweet. Sasha's right over there. Nothing changes if we keep doing the same. You know? In my book, Life on Your Terms, I tell this story, and you probably heard it before, about the mom and the daughter are baking, and the mom grabs the ham, and she cuts off the ends of the ham. She sticks it in the pan and puts it in the oven, and the little girl says, Mom, why do you cut the ends of the ham off? And the mom said, my mom always did it that way. Let's call her. She knew. So we called the mother. And she says, Mom, why did you cut the ends of the ham off before you put it in the oven when you put it in the pan? And the mom said, well, my mom did it that way. Grandma did it that way. So let's call her and find out. So they call Grandma. And they say, oh, my mother did that. Great-grandma would know. She cut the ends of the ham off. And so I've always done what she's done. That's how I learned it. So they call Great-grandma. Great-grandma gets on the phone. They say, Great-grandma, why did you cut the ham ends off when you put it in the pan, put it in the oven? She said, because my pan was too small and the ham was too big, so I cut the ends off and stuck it in the pan so it's the right size and then put it in the oven. We don't even know what we're doing half the time. We're just doing things we've seen or heard or co-opted from other people while we were growing up. And if you always do the same old thing over and over and over again, you'll always get the same old results. That's why we are where we are in the world today, because we've perpetuated things that were sick, and we've allowed things to fester, and we haven't addressed them, and we haven't healed them. We've swept them under the carpet. We haven't put the money there that wasn't politically allocated. It went to the military, most likely, to have this big, massive industrial complex to protect us in case anything should ever happen. And you know what is happening in our street right now? And Eisenhower warned us of this very thing. Go figure, right? It's been happening for decades. The founding fathers warned us of the very same thing in the beginning. Beware of oligarchy. Beware of corporations. Beware of those people who will try and rob you of your rights and become tyrannists. We're living it. But we can complain about it, whine about it, blame people. We can try and fight and attack it. We can try and do violence against the violence, But the key is to have a plan for something better, to figure out how that is, address the issues as they need addressing, and then create the newness that we want. Stop perpetuating the old and start perpetuating the new, the good, the healthy, the productive, the abundance for all, the prosperity for all, the health for all, the love and kindness and family and connectedness and neighborhoods for all. We can change our world. We can change. It starts at home. If you light your candle, 1 million people can light a candle off of your one candle. But you have to light your candle. Each of us, you and me, you who are watching now and who are watching later, have to light your candle. And if you like what I'm saying and you think it's important, please share the video. Share it for other people. Because this is the way we get the message out. Make comments, like it, spread the word. Let's spread a virus of love and compassion and harmony instead of hate and illness. Let's spread a virus. Let's have a conspiracy of joy and fun and good things instead of hate and racism. Okay? So, there's that. And I hope that you have especially... I got great news today. My Kindle book is going through the roof. People getting the Kindle. I mean, I went on to Amazon and I went, oh my God. Hundreds of people started going into the Kindle. I was like, wow, this is great. The Kindle, the paperback, it's all doing really, really well. Life on your terms, live the life you want. Available at Amazon in book or Kindle. I've got classes and wonderful, absolutely marvelous people manifesting all sorts of incredible things, abundance and love and well-being and goodness in the How to Change Your Thoughts and Transform Your Life program. Oh, you're welcome, Robin. Hey, please do share the course. Share the video. Best to you. I'm glad I see you on Facebook. I haven't seen you in years in person, and one of the days we're going to fix that. So best to you and love to you and yours and to all the fine people who we know in common. Hey, Robert. Mr. Mayor, how are you? Awesome. Fantastic. So if you're appreciating the video, please share it. Share it on your wall, to your groups, to your pages. And let's spread a conspiracy of joy. And thank you, Robert. Thank you. And spread a conspiracy of joy and planning for a positive future. And take this moment. Let's seize it, like Carpe Diem, Let's seize the moment and make it ours. Let's not be victims of circumstance. Let's create our circumstances. Let's make the world what we want it to be instead of taking it as somebody would hand it to us. We do that by having a plan, by coming together, by uniting in one mind, and by doing... Gandhi immobilized the British nation peacefully. It can be done. Think about that. Gandhi didn't do any of the things that have happened in the country. Gandhi had brought an entire empire to its knees with peaceful protest because in their heads they knew that they were the winners. They were the victors. They knew that they could peacefully protest. They could march to the sea. They could do what they needed to do in order to bring about change without ever firing a shot, without ever raising a sword, without ever coming to blows. You think it's time that we start doing that? Remember, the British Army was armed. They had cannons, they had guns, they had bayonets. They were ready and prepared to use them the same way, anything is happening today is. But through peace and through mindset, from attitude, from a loving feeling and a loving place, Gandhi and his followers disabled the British government. We can do the same. We can absolutely do the same. And if you don't believe it's possible, check it out. Because if you don't believe it's possible, you won't do anything about it. If you don't believe that you could ride a bike, you'll never ride a bike. I can't do that. That's not for me. I'll never do it until you try. And then you find out maybe you're a bad bike rider, or maybe you have a natural talent for it. Hey, Derek. This is how we change. We find that people, somebody unfriends me, or they don't read my blog. They subscribe for a while and they unsubscribe. Whenever I see that, I'm like, gosh, thank you. And I don't mean that to be a dick. I really don't. I'm like, thank you. The person is going somewhere else. I don't want negative energy. I don't want the person, if they don't want to be there, to be around me. I don't need that. Let them go. I just want the right people around me who are of one mind, one accord, one positive energy, who are loving and kind and gentle. Why would I want assholes? And I'm not saying that those people are. But you understand what I'm getting at? The right people show up for the right things. It's kind of like if you build it, they will come. This is partly true. You have to market it if you want them to come. They won't come. They won't find it on their own. But if you put the energy out, you put the vibe out, birds of a feather will flock together like moths will be attracted to a flame. If you're a shining, bright example of love and joy and happiness and abundance and prosperity and health and wisdom and positive relationships, those people who vibrate similarly will find each other. They'll find you and you'll find them. And that's what it's about. And through a coalition of love and acceptance, we can make this country a better place. But it starts inside our own heart, inside our own head, inside our own being, inside our own family, inside our own life, inside our own community, inside our own city, inside our own county, inside our own state and region, country, continent, and the world. We can do it just like Gandhi did it. So let's try it. Hi, Bilal. Let's try it. Okay? And again, I'm going to remind everybody, please share this video. I'm going to be going because I got to take the girls to the dog park, and the connection there is not good, so I wanted to do it before we left. But I had to have this opportunity to say hey and to say love. And now I must say that the Indian greeting for hello and goodbye, I think Bilal, is I bow, I respect the divine in you. The divine in me recognizes the divine in you. In other words, we're all God. We're all the same thing. We're all the same stardust. And we just don't think we are. Borders are silly, but we've got them. Countries are silly, but we've got them. Laws are silly, but we've got them. So the key to do is learn how to navigate and live and enjoy and have a marvelous life in spite of everything. Just like there are natural barriers on the earth. There's gorges and canyons and rivers and mountains. We learn to get around them or through them or up above them or, anything is possible. The United States of America is one heck of a large country, and at one point, a guy named Hill, not Napoleon, no, but a guy named Hill, said we're gonna cross the continent with we're gonna connect a train line from east to west, and they did. At one time, there was no electric light, and now there is. One time, we didn't have air travel, but now there is. Because the people who wanted to have air travel didn't quit, they didn't give up. They also didn't fly off a cliff and kill themselves. They stood on the ground and launched the plane upward. They were smart about it. They went, we need to take off, not crash dive. So if we're smart and we're wise, we can do anything we put our mind and heart into. And when we put our heart and mind into it, then we have the right actions, the right behaviors. It's not work, it's not a struggle, it's not an effort. It's with greater ease and simplicity that we accomplish great things. And with that, I'm Rex Sikes. I'm going to say namaste to each of you. Please do spread the video. Please leave comments below. And please have a fabulous day. And make each and every moment you have miraculous and marvelous and magical. The girls and I love you. All right, bye for now.